Yeah, I want to bring in KT McFarland to react to this, former Deputy National Security Advisor and author of Evolution, Trump, Washington, and We the People. KT, your reaction to what we just heard. We just heard just about 100 people are going to be left. That was like 6 weeks ago. There's many more than 100, and the State Department seems to be giving the Heisman to the evacuation efforts.
Yeah, look, the State Department said, oh, it's a handful, just 100. The Pentagon, however, was saying it was several thousand Americans left behind. This is good news that we're getting them out. The bad news is that we left them in the first place, and the big question mark is how many are left behind. Nobody knows, but it's not one or two. Chances are it could even be as much as 1,000 if you listen to the Pentagon reports.
So let's move on and talk about Afghanistan from Robert Gates' perspective. He served 7 presidents, including he actually straddled. He went from Bush, and President Obama said, why don't you stay here? You know, he really felt he's held every significant job he could in Washington. And he commented on Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden, he says, likes him, but he published in his book that he's been wrong on every national security and defense issue over the last 40 years. What about with this withdrawal? Here's what he said last night on 60 Minutes.
But do you think he made a mistake in Afghanistan in the way
Yes.
he handled the withdrawal?
Yes. Once President Biden reaffirmed that there was going to be a firm deadline date, that's the point at which I think they should have begun bringing those people out. You'd have to be pretty naive not to assume things were going to go downhill once that withdrawal was complete.
He's also critical of President Trump. He said, as soon as you signed that deal, we should have started bringing people out then. Your reaction to what you heard from Bob Gates?
Well, look, President Trump was bringing people out even before we signed that deal. And so the continuation of bringing those people out would have meant that by the time you got to the deadline, they would have been out. What happened is the Biden administration came in and they reversed that. They stopped taking people out. In fact, they added people because they wanted to shore up the Afghan government. But the bigger point that Bob Gates makes, and I've known him since 1970 when we shared an office together in Henry Kissinger's suite in the West Wing of the White House, Bob Gates is an honorable man. And I think when he says, look, Joe Biden's been wrong on everything, Joe Biden has been wrong on everything. But I worry about what Joe Biden is going to get wrong going forward. And I think that's China.
Right. So let's talk about China. Over the weekend, it became confirmed that they have a hypersonic missile that went around the Earth at 21,000 miles per hour and could strike anywhere. According to NORAD, it would breach our missile defense system. Almost by every quote I'm seeing, most anonymous, we were shocked by this. Your reaction?
Well, I got 3 reactions to it. Number one, this is a game-changer technology. It has a missile system that we could not detect when it was fired, and we will not be able to shoot down. But number 2, here's the U.S. intelligence community again getting it wrong. We didn't know when it was going to happen. We didn't think this would happen. We didn't think Afghanistan would collapse as quickly. I mean, they're not getting anything right. And then the third part of it that I think is even more upsetting is now this is not just the only thing China is doing. China is doing a whole range of weapon systems that they're doing, a whole range of economic warfare, a whole range of even more threatening statements about Taiwan and other places. This is part of a bigger Chinese plan. And the thing that is so maddening, Brian, guess where the Chinese got the technology for this? This was an American program. The hypersonic weapon program that the Obama administration canceled. So they took our technology and they built the weapon.
Unbelievable, and Russia's got it too. We have $3.5 billion going into hypersonic weapons. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Just real quick, the New York Times writes that China's gotten huge problems. The mills have faced power cuts. Computer chip shortages are everywhere. It's also taken a toll on China's economy. The National Bureau of Stats announced that Monday that China's economy grew at 4.9. It was supposed to grow at 7.9. Construction has ground to a halt. They're having huge issues. Some people say this is like 2008 in America because their projects are underfinanced and people aren't getting paid. So there's an opportunity here economically to really press them now. Hopefully we take advantage of that opportunity. KT, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.